Be interesting. Here are the post-match thoughts of Frank Lampard.
Frank, obviously not what you were looking for. Just how chastening an experience was that first half in particular?
Well, it was, because for 10 minutes we were good. I'm not claiming that, because that's just the reality of the game. Then they started to play, and then we conceded two really poor goals, back-to-back in the game. And I felt it knocked us, and I felt we didn't react as well as I want to. Against City, you have to accept periods of possession for them. That's what they do. And the chance they might score a goal. So we didn't react well to that. We knew they would play without a real striker, so we had to make sure that space wasn't there. We allowed the space for De Bruyne to get into the game, and Silva and Gundogan when he gets the opportunity to shoot for the first one. So, yeah, serious lessons in the first half, good character in the second half, but the game was done.
How much was the split? How good they were and how off the pace you were?
A fair split, because... Well, I think that the level of player, you're talking De Bruyne, he was here. I know he was here when he was a kid and couldn't get in. Credit to him, went away and came back, and now you're prime Kevin De Bruyne. And you can go through their team and talk about that. And the reality is for us, and it's why when I spoke earlier in the season, everyone was a month ago saying we can win the league, or outside we can win the league. I was pretty sure on the fact that where we're at in terms of a rebuild, in terms of the ban, in terms of new players in the team, in terms of the youth, that there are periods of pain we're going to go through as a club and as individuals. That was painful first half for the players. I know that. They've got to get better at receiving the ball in tight areas. They've got to understand when a press comes, you're going to have to accept it or miss the press out. When a team gives you a problem on the pitch that we talk about before the game, has to be dealt with in game. And in the first half we didn't. In the second half we were better, but it was done.
You were angry after the Arsenal defeat. Is it not the same emotion today?
No, it's not. There was the first half against Arsenal was lethargic, and I didn't understand it. Today, I understand that the players had a real problem in the first half on pitch, because City was showing real personality and quality on the ball. And we showed it for 10 minutes, control. When the game turns, that's when you get tested and you have to react in the game. I'm not leaning on the youth, or because I think some of the younger players really came to the fore. I thought Mason Mount showed second half, Billy Gilmour showed when he came on, Callum comes on and gets his goals. So this is not about the youth of our squad being the issue. It's just a reality of, as I said before, we will have to go through. At the minute we're in a little period, this 5-6 game period that none of us like. I think if you probably go back to the first year of City in this regime, or Liverpool, there are periods of pain. You have to fight through that, and that comes with reviewing this game, looking at how we can be better as we go on.
Are days like today, though, demoralising?
Well, if you've been in football this long, I said to the players at half-time, I sat there and had those days. I sat there and had those days and lifted a trophy at the end of the year. I remember getting beaten at Middlesbrough 2 or 3-0, Viduka and Yakubu up front, and we were sat in the dressing room pretty demoralised. And we bounced back because we had a spirit in the dressing room, we had a quality of player. And we're in a different period now, but any player in football is going to have moments like that. Some of the results we've seen this season for other teams, Man City, Liverpool, etc., have been harsh for them. Now, because we're in a bit of a period, it becomes even harsher for us. I won't hide away from that, but the players, myself, have to take it on the chin and react. This is football.
Do you think you've got the character, the personnel here to get out of this patch?
Oh, without a doubt, we have that. Without a doubt, because we went 16 games unbeaten, and you don't become. A month ago, everyone's asking me about where we can go to, where am I going to go, when's the new contract. Now people will be saying the opposite. I can't control that, or we can't control that. What we can control is what we do tonight and tomorrow and the next day, and what we do against Morecambe and what we do against Fulham. And then I have belief in the group. So I hope this doesn't sound like I'm criticising players. I'll be the first to look at myself today, but when I look at the squad, I know that there is uplift in this team, but I know where we're at because I see it, and I know the work it takes to be at the level that Manchester City churned out today, because that's been a lot of years in the making. A lot of players, as I say, playing in the prime of their careers, showing confidence and character. It's normal that as a squad we take little knocks along the way. Now's a test.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.
Very interesting from Frank Lampard. The only saying about people talking about whether they could win the title and a new contract. 29 days ago, Chelsea were top of the Premier League, 4 points from 18.